Warning: this show contains spoilers.
We're calling it the Idiot Hour?
Beluska, dude, I'll stay right here and play clarinet.
We'll get into all that in a future episode.
Oh, I just had it unmuted and your voice came on and it was really aggressive. This show contains. I like to think yours is, what's that movie? Kung Fu Fury? Kung Fu Hustle? No. What's the one where they do
Kung Fu?
where they do the voiceover that's really bad?
Kung Fu Panda?
No, there's a movie where it's just played through, but it's really bad voiceovers.
Probably Kung Fu Hustle or something like that.
It's something like that, but
Sure.
it isn't. But
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, maybe. Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Wow, we're missing football tonight. Welcome back to the Idiot Hour. As Josh,
We're some football tonight?
Patrick Mahomes leads the Chiefs against the Broncos in 2018.
Oh.
This
Why
is
do I
Monday
care?
Night Debut.
I wonder who's going to win.
I thought about betting on stuff like that because I was like, I don't remember, but like
Is NASCAR coming back this weekend?
NASCAR was back this past weekend, baby.
It already came back
Yep.
Darlington.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I wanted to bet on it just because
One of the cars hit the side and they switched over from painting advertisements to this adhesive that's supposed to never come off. And it got stuck in the front, like air duct or something. So the car was overheating. So the guy had to get close to another car, hit the car so that the flag scraped off, flew back, fell on someone else's car. But it was like okay and not. So then he like pulled in and they pulled it off. But a crew went out on the track and ripped down the rest of the advertisement. I was cracking up. It was like the weirdest thing ever.
Did you see how captivated you had me and Josh there about
Yeah.
It's
NASCAR?
sports. It's things.
Yes,
It actually happened.
I mean that's what it boils down to at this point.
I didn't know.
It's
I
sports
forgot
and things.
that. See, I forgot yesterday was Sunday.
What a pain.
I thought today was Wednesday,
Dude,
and I thought that NASCAR was happening in 4 days, but it happened.
no. NASCAR's back. It was electric, man.
Who won?
An actual name.
An actual name. You don't even know. Did you watch it?
My parents were over. We were cooking out. Kevin Harvick.
I would have bet on Kevin Harvick.
So
Would you?
I love Kevin Harvick.
Oh, okay.
I told you he was a name.
Number 29, maybe.
Someone. There was another. Who crashed?
Man, Kevin Harvick. I didn't even know he was still racing. But if I saw his name, I definitely would have been like, yeah, I'm going to bet on Kevin.
There
Harvick.
was a dude, and we'll get into the actual show. There was a guy, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was in the lead with a lap left in stage 1 and crashed. What up, Slow Pound?
You gotta hold on. That's like what Clint always says, right? He's like, you don't want to be in first headed in the final turn. You want to be in third. Let those two fuckers kill each other and then just slip on in.
Who's Clint?
Clint Boyer.
Clint Boyer.
I thought you meant Clint Hurdle, and I was so lost. I was
Clint
gone.
Hurdle always says, man,
I was.
I don't want to be in the wild card picture.
I was right. Kevin
Let the
Harvick.
idiots in the World Series tire each other out.
Yeah.
Just so everyone
like
knows, I was right, and Kevin Harvick did used to drive the number 29 car. I knew that. He drives
Okay.
number 4 now, but I had to look, and I was seeing a bunch of 4s, but I knew I remembered. I know a little bit about NASCAR because I used to have the little NASCAR.
I know enough to be dangerous.
I know I used to really like the Matchbox cars. Like I used
Yep.
to love Matchbox cars.
There's a new flamed 24 car by some young kid. I think he might even be a rookie.
Ain't Jeff Gordon, it ain't me, brother.
No. Well, I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, it's a little homage, but
DuPont Jeff.
you know
for-
who you are, not Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Do you guys want to pick favorite NASCAR racers and get really into NASCAR?
Like right now, current.
Yeah, like
Can we pick them right now?
I don't care. Do you want to pick them right now?
Yeah, I want to pick them right now. I'm gonna pull up a list of active.
Oh
Yeah.
man, all right.
Wait, give us
Sorry,
a-
Greg. I know you're in the wings, waiting.
Sorry, Greg.
NASCAR roster? Is that
Actually,
what I put in?
Greg, your topic's canceled. This is an entire NASCAR episode.
We're switching the show.
NASCAR
today, it's not
Cup
Michael Jordan.
Series
It's
drivers.
strictly.
All right.
You
Here we
want?
go.
All right. Where
I feel like my guy's got to drive a Toyota.
active
Like
drivers?
Slowpound, you like
NASCAR.
NASCAR. Give me some names.
Man,
All right, here we go. This is it.
there's Clint Boyer, who I was talking about.
No.
Kyle Busch, still killing it.
I feel like I have to be a Kevin Harvick fan because I knew Kevin
You
Harvick.
just talk a lot of shit
drove
about
the number
you would have bet
29
on it.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at other names here, and I'm a
Dude,
big
there's-
like Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin's hard.
What about the brothers, Ty and Chase? Oh, wait, they're not brothers. They just look exactly. Oh, no, yeah, I was right. Austin Dillon and Ty Dillon.
Eh.
Eh?
Two guys with the same. Like, if you got two first names,
First of all, I didn't know a lot of these people. Like Matt Kenseth is still racing. Kyle Busch is still racing.
Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch were funny because it was KY Busch and then KU Busch, and I was
Jimmy
like,
Johnson's still going at it. He doesn't
Is
give
he
a
really?
fuck. Yep.
Ty Dillon. Wow.
Is he probably had Jimmy Johnson has to have the most active win, right?
Joey
Pass.
Logano. That's
Yeah,
a hockey name, Joey Logano.
Joey Logano. That is
Yeah.
John Hunter Nemchek.
Yeah, what's up with that
That's-
kid?
That's a hockey player.
That kid gets after it.
Yeah.
He skates on
Hamlin.
weekends.
Chase
Wait,
Elliott.
what the shit's the Jeff
Oh
Gordon?
my god, I found my guy.
William Byron is the Jeff Gordon guy, not Jeff Gordon.
Who's your guy?
Baron Pole. Look at that mustache. Look at that hair.
Pull it
What
up.
a weapon.
Wait, Brennan Poole.
Yeah.
Brennan.
Brennan. That's what I
I
said.
want Brennan Poole, please.
What an idiot! Just keeping tabs, so I'm not pooping while you bring me in. Thank you, Greg.
Yeah.
Wow, he is.
What a laugh.
He is 2 years younger. than-
Colorado, don't you watch? Do you watch NASCAR?
He kind of reminds me of you.
Dude,
Uh,
that's my dude. That's him.
That's your guy.
Brennan?
Brennan Pole. Brennan
No.
Pole. Brennan
Brennan
Pole.
Poulet.
Brennan Poole. Who's your guy?
Oh, his rookie year was this year.
There you
Man,
go.
he's 29 and he's a rookie in NASCAR. Isn't that weird?
It's hard to get up there.
He
Is
only
it?
has
Okay.
5 races.
Yeah, there's only so many owners and so many cars on the owners' teams, and dude, I don't know. I don't really want to pick Kyle or Kurt because I know.
This is my
Pick Denny
dude.
Hamlin. Pick Denny Hamlin because I want to pick Denny Hamlin, but I'm probably going to stick with Kevin Hart.
I do
Exactly.
like Denny Hamlin. Where's he at? What's he driving? Joe Gibbs Racing. He's driving a Toyota. Safe, reliable.
Gibbs, baby.
Born November 18th. I'm November 5th.
15 car.
Yeah, let me look at these statistics on Mr. Harvick here.
Yeah, all right. I'm a Denny Hamlin fan.
All right.
Denny
So
Hamlin?
Deeks, Denny Hamlin.
Should I tweet him?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, bitch, I
Hey,
just
Denny,
picked you.
congratulations on being my favorite racer.
Bro, Kevin Harvick has just been he's been racing since like 94, probably before that.
That's
I'm-
impressive.
He was like in some Daytona. Like, all right, let's look at
Are
this.
you going with Kevin Harvick?
Oh yeah, I gotta go with my guy
Okay.
because once I made sure that Kevin Harvick was the same one that drove that number 29 car. He
Yeah.
drives number 4 now, like I said, but number 29,
All right.
Kevin Harv,
I like it.
big Harvick guy.
Epic.
I want him to go back to the 29 car. Race hell, praise now.
All right. Are we going to do the show now?
Yeah, Joe, talk about the show while I find Denny Hamlin's Twitter.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
we're on the show.
So obviously, last night concluded The Last Dance, and
At Denny Hamlin.
we're all now super sad. But now that we're into NASCAR, we have sports to watch. And so we just kind of want to do a Michael Jordan recap thank you show of our own. Just kind of talking about the shoes, the jerseys, the championships, the moments, everything MJ. And the first segment today is actually going to require a bit of a guest. His name is Greg Skelp. He's a good friend of mine. He's in the wrestling league. And he's just like a big sneaker guy. So I wanted to bring in somebody more intelligent than me to help you two talk about, not help, but so that you guys have some decent people to talk to.
Hey, Denny Hamlin. new
And oh, look
NASCAR
at that
fan.
background. He's coming in
It's
hot.
me. It's Denny Hamlin. I am Denny Hamlin. Hello.
Denny
You
Hamlin.
kind of look like Denny Hamlin.
I blocked you on Twitter, by the way, so you're not
Denny
going to be able to find me.
I said, hey, Denny Hamlin, new NASCAR fan here. Just wanted to let you know I am super excited for you to be my favorite racer, and I can't wait to watch more NASCAR. Tweet.
Dude, bet you get a free shirt out of that.
Whatever. What up, Greg Skelp?
What's going on, man?
Sorry to make
Justin,
you wait
that
there.
quarantine beard's looking fierce, man.
Thank you, brother. I'm trying.
Yeah, no doubt.
Trying to get her fluffy.
So
I want to have a sick background.
Just do it, nerd.
I did it quick. I just Googled whatever it was, and it was like the second thing that popped up. So I had one in mind, but I was like, shit, I got to get on here quick. So it's pressed.
At least you're not poop. Well, you could be pooping. We don't see it.
That's true.
I'm not. I'm sitting, but there's the sweet sounds of Northside right outside my door. So
So let's just kind of dive in. I have graphics made for Air Jordan 1 through 13, and I'm totally a novice about anything to do with the shoes. So, like, explain to me why, like, these are, to this day, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy. Like,
man,
pick a shoe.
that's a very loaded question. I think a lot of it goes back to it was just a time in basketball, and then also in sneaker culture, where you had, for instance, in the league, shoes that had a lot of color on them. So Jordan comes into the league, and he ends up being the prolific player that he is. But also, whenever he partnered with Nike, they had a guy named Tinker Hatfield, who was, going to be leading the charge and designing the Jordans. And they decided that, it's like, why don't we add some color to them? So that was against what was going on in the league. If you look back, a lot of dudes had either all white sneakers with like maybe a little bit of color, but
commercial they played, which just straight color.
Yeah. They just, back then that wasn't anything that they ever had, like, or even thought of was adding color or flair to your footwear. So whenever Jordan came on, he led the charge in that with the design. So I think that plays into it, where, it led the charge in the NBA, with kind of rethinking and revamping exactly how shoes are going to be handled. And then, Jordan was a super good player. So, well, obviously, but if he wasn't the caliber of player that he is, it never would have popped off. And if the sneakers didn't look as good as they did, it never would have popped off.
It was the perfect storm. Like, those are the only shoe. Like, if you think about shoe culture right now, you can't wear cleats. Right. So baseball, football, soccer, basically out the window when it comes to footwear. Hockey, skates. It is the only actual sport where you're sitting there and you're going, oh, I can wear those as fashion. And I can also, so like comfortability of like LeBron James shoes and the design of those now is out the window, like insane. But the Jordan shoes were, not only are we combining one of the most prolific humans ever with culture and with streetwear and being cool, but I can do something that would make me like him. Because you can't, I'm going to buy Ronaldo's soccer cleats, but you can't wear those around school. You know what I mean? You can't do X, Y, Z. Chip says, Boyd, you're looking like a ragamuffin.
Wow.
We would also accept the answer of Big Ben Roethlisberger.
So let's pick
shaved,
some shoes.
so.
Let's pick some shoes. Like, Greg, what's your favorite pair of Jordans?
The ones which are on my background right now, that's like the model that I prefer. It's just like a timeless shoe. It's like the Air Force One, you can just wear that with anything. It was his first shoe, so it's the model that most people want. It's a model that, started the revolution. It's the model that's like mostly tied to him. That's what he's wearing, the Jumpman logo. That's what a lot of colorways that they have now are derived from, is stuff that they put on the ones. So that's my personal favorite. Most collectors you would talk to, that's going to be their personal favorite too. But a lot of his shoes are tied to iconic moments as well. So, right. Jordan from the dunk contest, he was wearing the 3s. So a lot of people, they want to fly like Jordan. That was part of it. The 4s, that's whenever Spike Lee did Do the Right Thing, and he was part of the campaign. There we go. He was part of the campaign for the 4s. That's when you got Mars Blackman, and that was a celebrity endorsement of the shoe. And then you have the 11s. That's Space Jam, obviously, and the 14s. That's whenever he took his last shot. That's when he beat the Jazz. So a lot of people tie different shoes to different moments in his career, and they identify with them. So it's just a matter of when they came along with the Jordan brand, so to speak. So everybody has a different favorite. I would go with the ones.
What
They're
colorway?
just so clean. Oh, nice background.
Man. I'd probably say
I'm a shatter backboards guy.
You know what? Shattered backboards were nice. Hold on, I'm gonna grab my pair. I got my favorite.
Is that why your camera clicked out there, Boyd?
Yeah, it's changed.
No, I have no idea why my camera clicked out.
Chip says he still loves you, though, if that helps.
I appreciate it, Chipper.
Chip, if you need your Apple password, just let me know. I got it.
Hysterical. That's a story for the end of the show.
Oh man,
The classic black and red, the bread colorway. That's
Those are.
that's the
Weren't
one
those
to-
the ones
to
that
get.
got told you couldn't wear them?
The band ones? Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
funny story. Is that actually the band Jordans that they talk about? They actually weren't Jordan 1s. They were called Airships. So it was like the predecessor to the Jordan 1. So the ones that he got fined for, he wasn't actually wearing the ones. A lot of people don't realize that. So yeah, that's something that they got him in a lot of hot water, and they just adapted the colorway to the one whenever it came out. So it's not something a lot of people realize, but that's one of those like really small like collector pieces of knowledge that people like to throw out there.
What's your favorite scalp like collab? Because a lot of people look at Jordan shoes as one category and then Jordan collabs as another. Do you have a favorite collab?
Man, there's been some good ones. Initially, it wasn't something that you saw very often, was like collabs with Jordan brand. The first one I'd probably say also the most sought after and definitely the hardest to get a hold of was this brand Undefeated out of LA. They did a collaboration on the 4, and it was like this military colorway. Yeah. That one goes for, if you can find it unworn, that goes for probably 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. You can put a down payment on a house for those. You can buy a car. You could buy a fully loaded Kia for that amount of money. It's wild. Blake Griffin would be super mad about that. But I would probably say that my favorite collab that they've done was this brand Union did a collaboration with them on the Jordan 1 recently, where they took different pairs and they cut the top portion off of the black and red one. So they had this upper collar right here, and they made it look like it was stitched onto a pair of like Kentucky blue or storm blue Jordan 1s. And that was really cool because that was not ever something that was done before. Typically it's just like colorways. Whenever you get the collaborations, they didn't really have like a lot of creativity. And that one kind of pushed the envelope a little bit on what was available to designers or collaborators to work with.
Damn.
Boyd, do you have a favorite pair of Jordans?
I do like the shatter backward ones.
What number is that, bud?
The ones.
The ones. They're the orange ones.
Okay, all right.
It's one right to the right
too.
of my head or the left of my head, whatever.
But I do like the
right
I like the Concord Grape 11s, man. Those are like, to me, those are like really, and I can't like, I personally like can't even really wear Jordans. Like they look goofy on me, I think.
I feel like they look goofy on me. I've never actually owned a pair. I don't know.
I haven't either, but like I love them. Like they're sick. Like I
have a friend that used to own every pair, and I was so jealous because not only did he own a ton of pairs and like resell and everything, but he looked good in them. And I would just stare at them. I'm like, damn, like. And I think it was because I played soccer. I was a low cut.
My feet are too big for the Jordans.
I don't know. Those are usually bigger sizes. Usually, like those are. No. I always see people with like bigger sizes like wear them or whatever. I think it's the one shoe that doesn't look bad in bigger sizes. Like if you get a pair of Chucks or like a pair of Vans,
yeah,
it looks like a surfboard. But Jordans, like because they're so bulky, you know.
I was gonna get the cement 3s when they dropped, but I missed the boat when everybody went to the mall to get them.
I love the white cements.
They're beautiful. What makes you like those ones the most? What's what is it that draws you into them?
Which ones?
The white cement 3s.
I don't know. I don't know why I like them. I just really when I saw them, I was just like, I really thought that they just looked clean. I don't know. I like that
The
little.
white and then the cracked gray.
Yeah, the
I mean,
crack.
It just like
Yeah.
white everywhere down, and then a little bit of disruption, and then white.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked so clean the whole way through.
It was. I love that shoe. I don't know why. It's not my favorite, but I really that's the one like pair of Jordans that I still want to this day.
That's my personal favorite model, just because that's the first one that featured the Jumpman logo. That was the one that he took off from the free throw line.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, if you talk to like a lot of collectors or whatever, or just like Jordan enthusiasts or, like basketball enthusiasts from like that day and watching him play, if you ask them what their favorite one is, like their favorite Jordan shoe, it's typically tied to like a moment in his career or, whenever they started watching him. And that was the first thing they remember. Also, it kind of ties in with photography, which is, like my second love, as far as, like with sneakers. And the photo of him jumping from the foul line, I mean, when he's mid-flight, you can see everybody in the background, like their eyes are just locked on him. And there's, camera flashes and nobody's watching anything else. If you look at every person behind that, they're just all fixated on him. And I mean, that shoe's like classic for that.
I'm a huge, so like throughout the years, like the shoe almost doesn't matter as much as me as the presentation of how it's delivered. So like, I think it was Kyrie Irving had a big shoe cereal box collab where it would get sent with the cereal and milk and like you open it up and it was crazy. But that's why I love the Space Jam shoes. Like the shoes themselves, I think they're cool. They're not my favorite like shoe, but the fact that like the OG box had like Mike's Secret Stuff and the DVD and like the thought process that goes around the packaging. So it's not even just about the shoe, which are dope. I think that was the coolest thing they'd come out with in a while.
Greg.
Yeah.
You think that Jordan took steroids?
I don't know. He's got the same legs as me. All basketball players have chicken legs, so I don't think they take steroids, or else they'd have bigger calves.
It's been a hot topic on this show.
Mostly just from Josh.
Yeah, the rest of us are pretty cool with it.
The
fact that
rest
he
of us
did
are pretty realistic.
Yeah.
That he just,
I don't think so. I think that's just hockey guy conspiracy right there. That's all it is.
people that think that Ovechkin is the greatest offensive mind that ever played any sport.
Oof.
He said that live on air, Greg. He said Alex Ovechkin is the greatest offensive player of any sport ever, which would mean over Michael Jordan, who was a 10-time scoring league champion, which is 4 times than the next closest person.
And you guys allowed him back on this week, or
We don't want to work the OBS studio stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
No one wants to run the show. That's the problem.
The 1 week
Fair
I was
enough.
supposed to run it, I bailed.
Yeah, it's true.
I
I forgot about
in.
that.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
See?
Josh, what do we got going on next, brother?
Well, I just want to talk about the Jordan 10s real quick because to me, it's a shoe that an iconic moment was not had by Michael Jordan in them. Because Scottie Pippen wore those the year Jordan was playing baseball, and we get the awesome clip that we saw a million times in The Last Dance where Pippen's got his foot up on the bench and he's pointing at the Jumpman logo and he's doing the come here. And that just to me, like, first off, these shoes are really cool because, like, all of the awesome part of it is on the bottom, right? Like, which is kind of like a really weird idea for a shoe, like to put the bottom being the coolest part of the shoe. But, like, that moment with Scotty holding his foot up and, like, it's just so awesome. Plus, the colorways are pretty cool. There's a blue, a red,
awesome, yeah.
purple, an electric blue, and a green. Just really neat. As I was doing like research for the shoes, they all kind of look a little similar to some extent because it still needs to be functional basketball shoe. But like those ones stood out to me as like just a really unique shoe.
Yeah, I would say that was the iconic moment. So it wasn't Jordan having the iconic moment, but that clip just, it's so pure.
So good.
That's what brought him back. It wasn't anything else. That's what brought him back from baseball.
Strictly that point.
And it's wild because those ones, I mean, like Josh said, there's not really any iconic moments in those ones from Jordan himself. And I mean, those are for like a lot of collectors. Those and the 9s are kind of like forgotten, which that's another thing. Is like I really only count the Jordan line up until 14, which is the last one that he wore. Well, for the Bulls, and then he played for the Wizards for a couple of years. But
those.
What's that?
I said we don't talk about the. What was that? 2 years ago? Was it?
Yeah, those
Just
were
documentary
kind
guys,
of
yeah.
the forgotten years. But like the tens, when Jordan came back, he didn't even wear. Well, he probably wore the tens that I'd have to go back and look, but he skipped right to the 11s. He wore the 11s,
11s
before
are
they
so
even.
cool.
Yeah, before they even released, he was playing in those. So he played
Yeah.
in the playoff year or the playoff series against Orlando in the 11s before they were officially released. So I don't know what that says about the 10s and like what he thought, but that's always like I've always thought that was a weird thing, and I've just never liked the 10s at all.
From the sneakerhead community, like obviously no one will ever come close to what Jordan Brand did. Is there another player's shoes that are as coveted? Because obviously LeBron has a couple series that I love. I'm a huge fan of Kobe's line of shoes just because I'm a huge Kobe guy. Like his Grinch shoes on Christmas Day, the low cut ones,
Yeah.
I still think are one of my favorite pair of shoes ever. Christmas shoes are crazy. But are there any other shoes that are like, oh, this guy or this person, not
No.
even athlete, is dropping that you have to get?
No.
Not, yeah, I mean,
No.
no is a short
Boyd,
answer.
I'm also adding in the fact that like I feel like Yeezys at one point spiked.
But those don't count though. Those
It's
don't
it's
count.
not that's not.
I said athlete or anybody. I'm just asking. Just a question.
I-
All right, let's
no,
just
because then
athlete.
if you go that way, then you can talk about like the Stan Smiths. You can talk about like Chuck Taylors. Like those are like athletic shoes
I would say
sponsored by
Chuck
like
Taylors are basketball shoes.
they are. I mean, that's what they were made for. Was
Could you
was
imagine
basketball.
playing basketball in Chuck Taylors?
Oh,
Boy.
dude, your ankle would just be raw meat after playing one game in those.
Thank you for showing those, Josh.
What about
Like
the?
there's no line, there's no shoe line or person that like has the impact that
Yeah.
Jordan had.
Well,
Like
I would argue to say that maybe LeBron here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about
No.
Jordan's. Hold on.
You're
Let me
wrong.
Let him talk.
hold on. Let me plead my
No.
case. Let me plead my case. I understand.
I'm just kidding.
I'm with
Alright.
you, but
okay.
here's what I need you to do. I just need you to like think outside the box for a second and
Always think out-
Shoebox outside the shoe.
yeah,
box.
outside the shoebox. So the thing with the Jordans is, yes, the short answer is no. Nobody's going to come near.
Boyd,
I mean,
you
that's who he
live-
was supposed to sign with. So
You live in here, Boyd. We need you to live out here.
I'm always outside.
like- just
Thank
for
you
like
for
a
the
moment.
You
Just,
live here. Now out here. Okay?
so.
Nerd.
Damn.
Sorry, go ahead, Scout.
All right. So the thing with Jordan and his shoe is it happened kind of like you said earlier. It was just like perfect storm, right place, right time for everything that happened because you had the sneaker community that was coming up. You had basketball that was coming up. You had Jordan that was coming up. Like everything was first wave. And the thing now is sneakers are dime a dozen. So it doesn't matter who it is. It's all going to be, I mean, the market's completely saturated. So there's always a new hot collab. There's always, a new model. And they're trying to model all of these different signature lines for athletes after Jordan. So like you look at the LeBrons and you have the LeBron 1, the LeBron 2, so on and so forth. They're numbered.
Copy.
But what we don't know, here's the thing that we don't know. LeBron has not gotten to the point where
Adam Shaheen, this is a Kobe jersey. Just throwing that out there.
I thought about having a Kobe background because I think that never mind. We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But LeBron's not far. You don't have kids that grew up on LeBron wanting to like reinvest in like their nostalgic period of their lives. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of kids that grew up watching LeBron and they're going to be our age and eventually say, damn, do you remember those sneakers whenever we were in 5th grade, 6th grade, whatever, like watching LeBron? And they're going to want those. Whether they're going to be on the same level as Jordan, I don't think so because LeBron's just a player. He's a brand, but he's not like a Jordan brand.
I just love the bottom of LeBron's shoes, how they have the different pads for actual like meaningful support. Like if you look at the bottom of LeBron's shoe, it's not just a straight sole. There's like actual key parts of your foot that are meant to make it more comfortable and everything, which is technology that Jordan's brand didn't have originally. But that's why I like LeBron's shoes because it's a little more about the engineering of how to help as opposed to how to look. So I thought that was interesting, at least.
Well, that's part of it as well. Back in the 90s, whenever Jordan was playing, his shoe was technically what LeBron's shoe is now. It was like peak
Top of the
performance.
line,
It was the
brother.
pinnacle
Oh,
of like,
really?
you know,
See.
athletic footwear.
And fat.
But now you just have so much that's available to you. You have like full like length Air, you know, Zoom Air insoles or like, you know, outsoles, and you have Flywire, and you have like these pods that LeBron has on his shoes and different materials. But you know, they didn't have all of that. Whenever Jordan put the patent leather on the 11s, that was insane. Whenever they showed the Air unit on the 3s and the 4s, it was insane. You know, like a lot of the stuff that he was doing, it was pushing the limit. They just didn't have, they just didn't have as much available.
I also liked the Travis Scott collab that recently came out for Jordan. I thought that was actually a decent collab. I'm a
You know
large
what?
hype beast when it comes to Travis Scott. I'll admit that, but I thought they were cool.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
that finally seeing somebody put the swoosh backwards. I've thought, you know, that was going to happen for a while, but it was. I wish it was a little bit smaller on the front, but it was still cool to see somebody be able to like flip the one like they did. So it was, you know, it was cool.
Greg,
All right.
Yo,
What?
is that an APC Carhartt collab T-shirt?
yeah,
Fire.
I'd beast pretty hard.
The
I guess.
list I googled said that the Carhartt's Eminem collab Jordans were the best ones. Just throwing that out there. Not sure how all three of those people got together, but that's the
Yeah, I always thought that was a weird one. I don't understand Carhartt and Eminem and Jordan. I mean, Carhartt and Jordan alone would be fine because they've done Nike collabs, and Eminem's done a Jordan collab. But
But where's
Carhartt
Carhartt
sounds
out of?
very Eminem, I guess.
Well,
'cause
these
of
aren't
the
even
shirt.
brown. What the hell is up with that?
oh well,
Is Carhartt out of Detroit?
yeah. I was just gonna say Carhartt's out Detroit, Eminem's
Yeah.
out Detroit, so maybe
There you
that's.
go.
I guess that's it.
And then Jordan, 90s, Eminem,
Just-
98.
Jordan, yeah.
Rap, yeah. I don't know. It's in there somewhere.
I would probably have copped that collab if I was like 18 in the 90s.
Yeah.
100%.
What's
I
next,
think
Josh?
Biggie would have worn it.
Well, that's it for Greg Skelp. Thank you so much for coming in and dropping all the knowledge on the shoes.
Aw.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you, brother. And
No
then
doubt.
we're going to take a quick commercial break while Brody, we get it. You want the Carhartt collabs. We'll get them for you in puppy
What?
size. I'm
We're
sorry.
going to take a quick commercial break?
We're going to take a quick commercial break, boy. And we'll be right back with
It's
the
exciting.
Owl.
Can we work? Shout out! I got my hoodie.
Hey, look at you.
I
How'd you
would
like
I would like to say that Josh isn't wearing any Thoughts from the Bench gear right now. So,
I'm not.
and we are. So, and I'm usually the odd one out
I'm wearing
because I
two
didn't
Thoughts
because
from
I
the
didn't
Bench.
have it. Look at that! Ooh, that's cool.
Hey,
I wear
Josh,
that.
we're going to need you to change. I'm wearing gray today.
It is a big deal. I mean, we want the white, black, gray. We want a good.
How much you bet he comes down in a white hoodie? Should I go change?
Oh my god,
No, I won't. I can't.
it's so good though. Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
We're kind of all wearing hoodies and sweatshirts today.
Yeah, it's kind of like a.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding,
We're
I'm kidding.
kidding. We're
That
kidding.
wasn't
We're
a
kidding.
stupid
we're kidding. Oh my god, no, he didn't. Look at this guy. We were joking. You know we were joking, but you had to go out of your way.
Are you ready?
Out of breath. What is exercising?
Woo! Be like Yama Yaga in the 90s,
Hey.
just climbing steps.
Josh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The hat? Is it the hat? Is the glasses? Do I need to put contacts in?
The hat definitely
All
does
right.
not match. He learned everything from him.
Yeah, but if you have a teacher that you loved in college and that professor learned from another professor and you know the other professor was cool, but you learned everything from your teacher and your teacher taught you how to be great, you live with what you have.
He's great, but he's not the great.
I'm totally confused as to what you guys are talking about. But
Applesauce.
Okay.
Are you a Mott's guy or are you a I don't remember the other brand. What's the other brand of applesauce?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were saying mozzarella sticks.
No, Mott's, M-O-T-T-S.
I know now, but mozzarella. And the
Mott's.
I hope you guys like that commercial break. Josh, what do we got?
Okay, so
What do you
now
got, Josh?
what I want to dig into, and this is
What are
something
we digging
that
into,
I'm
Josh?
well versed into, is jerseys. Michael Jordan.
New Jersey.
Michael Jordan's jerseys basically defined cool in the 90s, but he also just happened to wear some of the sickest uniforms ever. The first one I want to start with is the '84 Chicago Bulls road uniforms with the Chicago script across the front.
Fire.
Those are, I mean, and he was wearing the Jordan 1s, which we just found out from Greg Skelp. Thank you again for joining the show. Are the coolest shoe. So, like, in theory, that's the coolest. The coolest look you can go with.
It's very reminiscent of, like, there's a couple jerseys, and Cleveland did a very old one, but that 23 in the bottom corner.
Yes.
So you only have so much real estate when you look at, and like these jerseys especially,
Right.
with something like, I don't know, like NHL, they might be a little longer. You have more to do with everything.
Right.
NBA has the smallest jerseys, so to make cool on the area that you have, I'm not going to say it's like crazy difficult, but it's the hardest in sports.
Sure.
The subtle front in it, like it's just Chicago 23. I love it. The spacing, everything about it. I think that's beautiful.
That's I love that jersey. I think it's beautiful.
Also, Adam wrote in that he's never telling another hockey store if I am wearing a LeBron James jersey. So noted.
Well,
I would never put that on my
we have to worry
ball.
about that. But the next one is the University of North Carolina jerseys from '81 to '84. To me, basketball, like the first game I remember ever seeing happened to be a Tar Heels game. So, like, to me, that was a basketball jersey. And so, like, the powder blue jerseys, just with the white trim or the inverse of those, are just iconic to me.
There are certain college uniforms that, like, are there. I don't think that there's more, like, the Blue Bloods, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, North Carolina.
Sure.
I didn't know how hated they were, but I grew up a Duke fan because of J.J. Redick. Like, I was unaware of how universally hated they were.
Hated Duke.
Boozer. I was a
I just like J.J. Redick.
Carlos Boozer kind of guy.
Very much. Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
But the light blue and the
Shane
fact
Battier.
that – what's that?
Shane Battier.
I hate Shane Battier. But no, the light blue and the fact that that light blue nowadays has Jordan logo on it, cool.
Right. The next one I wanted to talk about was
What you got?
the 92 Team USA white jerseys.
Ooh.
These should be ugly, but there's just something so fucking awesome about them. Like that bar that underneath that says basketball, which has the star and like a Globetrotter looking ball in it, and like made by Champion.
They're so 90s, and like they just scream like McDonald's 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like fry ad. But I love them so much.
It reminds me of the Denim USA jersey I always draft for soccer. How it's just like stars everywhere.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I mean, same time frame, right? Roughly.
Yep.
I mean, that's probably the same people kind of like weighing input on that.
The best part is, how cool do you think the guy that wrote USA with red at the top, a little bit of white, and then blue? He was like, he dropped it on his boss's desk, took a shit, and then demanded a raise.
Yeah.
He was the coolest
I've
dude ever.
got something. You know how you wanted us to go a little more patriotic with this logo? Boy, I got something for you.
Motherfucker.
Just fucking slammed his dick down on the desk. That fucking little sprig. of-
George Washington of font type. Here we
He was
go.
like, all I have to say, Michael Jordan in this. That's
The next one is the 95 Chicago Bulls black alternates, the pinstripe uniform. They talk about how hard it is to do pinstripes right in sports uniforms, and very rarely when teams do it does it come across this well.
But you know who does it really well? Chicago team.
The Yankees.
Yeah.
Well, the Yankees do too, but the White Sox had really good pinstripes.
The White Sox kill it. Cubs have it too, right?
Yep. Cubs have
also
one.
do have it. That's why I'm saying Chicago knows how to do pinstripes.
Gangsters. That's why. They're gangsters.
It's the dude. I'm telling you, it's the color scheme. No colors look better than black and red.
Right.
Like, it's just
NWO Wolfpack. That's why they're the best faction.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
oh boy.
Rodman was a Wolfpacker, no?
Rodman he was NWO.
For life.
Might have been a Wolfpacker down the line.
I think he was. I at least maybe he just had red hair a lot.
I'm a part of the Wolfpack.
You know what? It's possible, but it was regular black and white NWO when it was because it was DDP and Karl Malone versus Hogan and Rodman.
The fact that
I
Karl
watched
Malone
that Bash at the Beach. That was a man.
was so good.
Great.
So those jerseys are they're filthy.
Those are the ones that everyone wears when they go to the beach and have a cookout. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's got a Jordan jersey on.
Just gonna flex on him real quick. Yeah.
I wish I could rock like a Jordan. Like I can't wear jerseys.
I love jerseys.
I can't wear basketball jerseys.
So this one is probably my favorite because it was the midnight sleeve. I'm a massive fan of the sleeved NBA jerseys.
That's what I'm asking. Can you do the sleeveless? Can you do a sleeveless NBA jersey? But I'm okay. All I'm saying is like I can't.
He's gone.
Like what he has on looked like he had a shirt on under, but that was the sleeved jersey.
Right. Yeah.
So like if I was to own a jersey and wear a jersey, I would have to wear a shirt. Then,
Under it.
Yeah, under and then jersey.
I
can't wear wife beaters. I can't wear whatever the other. I just can't. I look goofy in them.
I like the hoodie under any jersey look, whether it's basketball jersey or hockey jersey. That's
extremely pale right now.
My hockey jersey all the time.
Yeah.
Extremely pale. I have the neck and the shoulders for. I look like if I would work out and put muscle tone in right here. God said this guy looks like he could be in the NBA. Everything else, no. But like I look like I could wet.
Yeah, you look like you could come off the bench and play for like 7 minutes a game, probably.
Sure. I get 4 shots a game. I know my role.
Yeah, no, you're a role player. You don't look. It doesn't look awful for you.
Right.
You look like a normal
I don't wear this when it's like unreasonable. I don't wear this. If we're going to a restaurant or something.
Just way too pale and hairy.
That's fair. Oh man,
you both look fine in the jerseys. I can't do it.
Josh is because that was the worst stroke. That was even worse. Never mind.
Mine was worse than that?
Dude, you went.
What? What are you talking
you
about?
didn't extend your elbow.
Like this. And you're going to tell me that was a worse stroke than this?
Yeah, baby.
Come
Man,
on.
I never thought I would be the tannest one on this show. Just throwing that out there.
I don't want to put a jersey on it.
My face is so red.
Polacks unite, baby.
But if you really look at this pale, look at this hair.
I got burnt this weekend.
That's why you can't wear a basketball jersey.
Yeah, you big hair.
Oh, too much hair.
Wow.
We'd have to wax you and put you in a basketball jersey.
I'm the palest Italian you'll know.
Wow.
Boyd Italian?
Yeah. No, I'm Boyd is not Italian. No. But my family is. I have a lot of Italian. Yeah, man. Morello.
I've been doing push-ups too in preparation for this moment. So
it doesn't look like you did many.
All right, next jersey. Obviously, the 1996 Toon Squad jersey.
Toon Squad.
The most worn Halloween uniform ever.
I thought that I had a Toon Squad jersey upstairs, but it's actually a Milwaukee Beers jersey.
Also an iconic jersey.
Oh, I almost bought that so many times.
It's the same color scheme. So
there are so many times I wanted to buy that jersey.
I have it.
I DM'd a guy about it, and
I think it's the Cooper one. I don't think it's
big Coop guy.
Doug Reamer. Sir Swish Reamer. What a great movie.
And then the classic jersey that we think of the Bulls in is the 95-97 road uniforms, which just says Bulls across the front, and it basically says we're going to fucking steamroll you. Just hold on and hope we end it quick.
That's what their logo said, man.
Like we're going to shit on you.
You are something in front of us. We are just
Yep.
Pistons going to pop. Pacers, too slow. It's the pace car. I can go on for days. Knickerbockers, what is that? Lakers, there's not even lakes in Los Angeles, first off.
Like, you might beat us as you wear Lakers. You might beat us, but, like, we're going to win the championship.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
There was a scene in Last Dance where he dunked, and as he's, like, falling back down, the camera's panning up, and you just see that Bull logo on the Jumbotron. And you're just like, man, how intimidating would that be if you're under the rim trying to block this motherfucker?
Impossible.
And after he dunks on you, makes you look foolish, you look up, and there's just that giant snorting bull looking down on you. Like, all hope must have left your soul after things like that would happen.
I think I could be Jordan one-on-one.
Do you think so? Okay. And then the 98 Chicago Bulls black alternate. These are the
All black,
non-pinstriped
baby.
all blacks.
Those are my faves. I think these are my favorites.
They are like,
Trying to wait for them to come up.
It's
I
just
forget if they...
because you think about it too. They only wore these in '98, so this is
How
the
big?
Last Dance jersey. Like
The
that's
little
what,
white
Oh yeah, those were. I had one of those as a kid. Those were
Yeah, the little white trim is just chef's
man. Oh, absolutely. And the shorts, the lines going. Ugh,
The shorts.
the shirts.
The shorts.
Big fan.
Big shorts guy.
I don't believe that the Bulls have the greatest lineup of jerseys ever, but I think it's close.
Remember at the end of the Last Dance when they were like, and then the Bulls began to rebuild.
They should have
Still
just shown a
rebuilding.
picture of Derrick Rose and said it's been rough.
Do you guys think that they would have won 7 had they all come back for 1 year? Had Phil come back, had Jordan come back, had Rodman come back, had Pippen been like, I will take a pay cut to
If
sign a 1 year.
They bring everyone back, yes. I do not believe they had a good shot at getting Pippen back.
They beat the Spurs if they have Pippen back. Also, that year was that was
Remember when
the
the
short
four straight
lockout.
finals?
that was the shortened year, right?
Yeah.
99.
which that's the only thing
Would've
to
helped
me that would have
Yeah, what a help.
exactly like they would have had proper rest after basically 8 straight years of
But
contending.
Would they have beaten that San Antonio team?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what's
Oh.
that San
Well, here's the
Antonio-
question: does Steve Kerr still go to the Spurs and win?
Mm.
Because if Steve Kerr stays,
Do you think Steve Kerr would have stayed? Do you think they
Yes.
would have wanted Steve Kerr back? Do you think that he was a key enough player that they would have been like, we need Steve Kerr? Like if Steve Kerr was like, if Krause was like, maybe not even Krause, maybe it was what was his name, Reinsdorf?
yeah,
What if he was like, all right, we get Rodman, we get Pippen, you come back, Michael. We're not going to bring Steve back.
I think that
no championship.
No championship. They
Steve Kerr.
okay, so let's see here. Tim Duncan.
Steve Kerr. Imagine Kerr's resume.
Bro, 4 straight finals championships.
But imagine it being 4 for the Bulls.
That would have been crazy. The only other player you can put in the same breath that's like he didn't do much, but he did, is James Jones, who was on every LeBron James final team from Miami to Cleveland and just sat on the bench
But literally played like 4 minutes a game.
the whole season.
Yeah.
Mike Miller, maybe.
So
Mike
like
Miller. I remember loving Mike Miller. I remember being like, Mike Miller is a murderer at the 3-line, brother. But he was just the unguarded white guy that could just bury the threes, basically. What's up, Josh? What do you got?
I'm just kind of looking now. So, as far as star power goes, I mean, they have Tim Duncan and they have David Robinson, who are obviously Hall of Famers. But like
Well,
after
Bruce Bowen, right? Hold on, what year was that?
99. No, they don't.
Oh. When did they get him? 2000? 2001?
Must have.
Oh, they had Avery Johnson, who's great.
Okay.
Sean Elliott, decent.
Decent.
Jaren Jackson, wow.
Who did the Spurs play that year in the finals?
They had Will Purdue also. 1999. It was
So-
a team in the East.
All I'm saying though is that there's a dramatic drop off from David Robinson to Sean Elliott as far as like a
Knicks.
points per game scenario.
The Knicks.
Oh man, poor
Chewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Ewing.
He just
Who
got
did-
rocked.
Who did the Knicks?
And they had Will Purdue.
Who did the Knicks play in the conference finals? Who did they beat to go to the finals? Sorry, I'm asking a
They
lot.
might have beat. Well, no, the Bulls would have lost everybody.
They beat the Knicks in the final, didn't I say that?
No,
No,
who did the
Who
Knicks
did
play?
the
in
Knicks
conference?
beat in the conference final?
Probably Pacers.
Meow. Oh, yeah,
It still
maybe
would have been
Indiana.
the Reggie Miller team.
It had to be.
I'm just saying that there seems to be a better scoring depth
Pacers.
on the Bulls.
In 7?
Sixth, I think.
Someone just drove by listening to 6ix9ine. I still think that with the shortened season, that they would win 7.
Yeah.
It's Jordan.
Yeah, I think though it does depend a lot on Pippen. I mean, yes, he
I'm
won
saying if it's everybody back,
right.
even if they don't have Kerr, I still think they win.
Yeah, because you got to figure Tony Kukoc. I can't ever say his name right.
Tony Kukoc.
Kukoc, whatever.
Woodchuck.
I mean, he's a 13 point per game player. Like that's a guy that can help pick up some of maybe what you didn't have if you lost Pippen or Kerr. But like he's not a point guard though either. I don't know. It's interesting. Let's talk about the championships.
There's 6 of them.
What?
There's 6 of them.
There are 6 of them. And we don't have to spend a really long time on all of them. But, oh my God, Boyd, you're just like leaning in there.
It makes you question if he would have
What do you
won.
want me to do, brother?
You're good.
How many do they win? I think if he doesn't retire, they have the first ever 4 straight championships, but I don't think they get the next 3. Reason being because I don't believe then they get Dennis and they
Right.
do a couple other things because they're a little happier. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's pretty awesome that he beats.
But what year did Horace go to Orlando?
That was the
94.
yeah.
So is that the year he left? Do you think if
Yeah.
he stays, Horace stays?
Or I'm sorry, Horace went the next year, 95, because he's with Pippen in 94.
Yeah, he
That's what
played.
I'm saying. Do you think Horace stays if Jordan never retires?
Is Horace better than
No.
Dennis Rodman?
No, Horace Grant cost too much money for not great play.
I love Horace, man.
He's been on like every team. I feel like he was on the Raptors when they were hot. He was on Orlando when they were hot. He was in Chicago when they were hot. He's good. He just always seems to find himself in the best place.
Or maybe he's just a great complimentary player.
My buddy just texted me, Adam, what's up, brother? He said, is that guy from Milwaukee or just a big Giannis guy? Last week he had a Bucks hat on. You know, he just decided to start watching basketball, and he picked your Milwaukee Bucks, brother.
I did.
He said, "What's a good bandwagon team that I could start rooting for?" And we told him Bucks for Giannis.
And then I also picked Renan Poulet is my NASCAR guy. So it's, getting a lot into sports this summer.
Sucks you didn't get Denny Hamilton, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Denny Hamilton.
Can you say his last name, Josh?
I think it's just Pole.
No. Giannis.
Antetokounmpo?
Oh, okay.
I taught him.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. All right. I was expecting him to butcher it.
We already
No.
made fun of him for it.
Yeah. So the first championship he wins is he finally gets past, all these epic Eastern Conference rivals, and then he has to take on Magic Johnson in the final. And he beats the storied Lakers, which is awesome because there's that clip of Michael Jordan talking about that he wants to make the Bulls a franchise that's like the Lakers or the Sixers or the Celtics. And to have to go against the Lakers in his first ever finals appearance, that's pretty awesome.
And he fucking won.
Yeah.
Man, Magic Johnson,
Magic.
I believe if he wins that, is considered widely in today's world the GOAT.
If he beats
Because he
MJ in
beats
that
Jordan.
first,
Well, no, because that was Jordan's first one that spawned the first 3. Then
Right.
Everything happened.
right? But that's what I mean. Like, if Magic wins that, first of all, Jordan isn't 6 for 6 in finals,
Facts, which is arguably the biggest stance for why he's the GOAT.
Right.
which is your number one argument a lot of the times.
I mean, honestly,
That's a great argument. I'm not downplaying that statistic at all. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that is a big, if he doesn't have that, if Magic and the Lakers win that, Magic's the GOAT.
Magic was so good, man. 6'9" point guard that actually played like a point guard. Jeez.
Beat AIDS.
Oh, I love
Money.
him.
He beat it with money.
Basically.
Slapped it in the face with money.
The next one, I think, is where the Michael Jordan that we think of today is born. It's the 92 series versus the Portland Trail Blazers, where just because Clyde Drexler was the reason he didn't become a Portland Trail Blazer, is like he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him in this series. And like,
Well, it was that they were putting Clyde Drexler in the same conversation at that.
That's right.
They were saying, "Man, because last year it was Magic and Jordan.
Right.
This year it's Clyde Drexler and Jordan." And he was like, "No, that's not the same. Like last year, Magic Jordan. Okay, there's a conversation. Clyde Drexler and Jordan. I mean,
How dare you?
yeah."
Basically.
And obviously the shrug, and we'll get to the shrug later. But that championship to me, I think just that begins the Michael Jordan we think of now, where it's like if you say the wrong thing to him, man, you have made a huge mistake. In 1993, he takes on his then best buddy Charles Barkley, and it's not even close.
How cool, like how good at handling the ball was Charles Barkley that none of us knew. I did not know he was that athletic. Charles. Wow.
The round mound rebounder.
Man, he was good.
He was really good. It's crazy that he never won a championship, man. It's crazy.
And Carl and Patrick. I mean,
Yeah.
jeez. And Reggie.
Did John Stockton win one?
No.
A lot of greats were thwarted for 6 years
By him.
by this guy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I love that the comment where Charles Barkley's like, I played a great game, but Jordan was just better.
I played the best game of my career.
Oh yeah,
Jordan played better.
It's pretty awesome. The 96 one versus the Seattle Supersonics. It's the return
I
championship.
got no problem with the glove.
Um,
I got no problem with the glove.
this was the one I kind of like forgot about, or like I still forgot about when I was doing research for this.
The glove?
I had no problem with the glove.
No problem.
I never had a problem with Gary Payton. Oh, he's so awesome.
You know, when he said that too, they were like, when he was like, I don't have a problem with the glove. They were like, who didn't you have a problem with? Say his name.
Yeah.
I did not have a problem with Gary Payton. Bro, that shit was... Man.
And then the 97, the first one against the Jazz, the famous flu game. There were a couple of clips in the Last Dance that like almost brought me to tears, and one of them is Jordan collapsing on Pippen at the end of the flu game.
See, I think I've seen that so many times that it was like one of those things. So I didn't feel that way. But like when I first saw it, I felt the same way you did, which is like, dude, that human, like I want to call the cops to help that human.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just he's clearly collapsed, and for Scottie Pippen, whether or not he was looking for Pippen or Pippen just happened to be the closest guy, but for him to collapse on Pippen, to me, just further exaggerates their relationship, even though it's not spoken about really that Jordan needed Pippen in the documentary as much. It's pretty evident every time he didn't have Scottie, he struggled, right? When Scottie's back went out in the 98 series, when Scottie had the migraine.
Yeah.
Like
I would say when he had the migraine, he kept looking at Scottie being like, are you not going to carry your weight? So when the back went out, Jordan said, okay, he's not going to carry his weight.
Right. I mean,
And although Scottie Pippen is arguably a top 5 small forward all time, that is why he's not the GOAT.
Right. But just like that Scottie was there, and I really do believe that he wouldn't have come back if Scottie had moved on from the Bulls. I don't think he would have went back to the Bulls.
Absolutely not.
And I, as much as like the pointing at the shoe was like kind of goofing off, like there was a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
But players
of truth
didn't
to
bounce
it.
as much as when you got drafted. That was your team back then.
Right.
There wasn't a player-dominant free agency.
Right.
Like, think about his whole careir. He openly hated Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause talked about trade. There was that huge dynamic that was well known. Jordan never sat out. Jordan never, waited. Jordan never did any of these things. He just kind of, played his game.
And then the final one, The Last Dance versus the Utah Jazz. And there's an awesome picture up on the screen with Rodman, Pippen, Jordan, Kukoc, and I don't know who that other dude is. But, like, that is just... Those are lions prowling through the savannah. Like, how? Like, they would have had no fucking gas left in the tank for that 6th game. And somehow, some way, there's a minute left on the clock.
Ron Harper, by the way.
Oh, Ron Harper, thank you. But like, Jordan's the only one that touches the ball for the Bulls in the final minute of that 98 game six.
Yep.
He's the only one that touched the ball. He stole the ball on defense, and he had the last 2 buckets. That's fucking awesome.
Goat shit.
It is. It
Goat.
really is. So then,
Motherfucking goat.
here's what I want to do. We got one more commercial break. We're going to rattle through some of Jordan's best moments, and then we will wrap up the show.
Long show.
Yeah, so, all right. Here's the final commercial.
Hi, I'm Josh. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie. We've let it coagulate. Show Greg, king of coagulation there.
Coagulation is key.
Ooh. Homemade Greek ranch.
Do you like watching people eat pizza? Help me, because I'm on the quest to find the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Hand-forged pizza. Bit of Vici. That's amore.
Make sure you're sending in your recommendations for the best pizza in Pittsburgh, because I'm going to go, I'm going to try it, I'm going to hold it to my standards.
It's the aftertaste is the barf. It's where the barf comes in.
I agree. It's bomb pizza.
Can your favorite pizza place pass the test? Find out.
Oh, there's no. We're missing a host.
We're missing a host. That's right. We can keep soldiering on without him here. So the first clip the first moment I wanted to talk about is Michael Jordan doing what he would do for basically the rest of his career, is the buzzer beater, last shot of the game. And the first time we get to see it is him win the national championship with the UNC Tar Heels. It's so crazy because he really doesn't shoot from that side of the court a whole lot. Like, most of his stuff comes from the top of the key or over on the right-hand side. So for him to just, like, be wide open like that, like, he probably never saw that clean of a shot again in his life.
It's a good shot.
I mean, it's
There's an old story about
Oh, look who's back.
after he got drafted. So, like, that shot, he became Michael Jordan, right?
right.
So after he got drafted by the Bulls, apparently he was in the locker room. And I don't know if it was Krause at the time or coach or owner, whoever it was, but Jordan was, like, listening to music really loud on his Walkman, whatever the device was, listening really loud. And they were like, that's not what we do with the Chicago Bulls. We don't listen to music in the locker room. Like, don't do that. And Jordan went out and was Jordan. And they came back, and the next time they had it set up for him. Like, you can play music.
That's
So, like,
awesome.
this show created something, which
Right.
I love.
That's pretty awesome. The next thing I want to show you guys, this to me was his original signature dunk. Is this what I call the UNC cradle, right? Because after he hits that shot, then he kind of takes it right into the NBA, right? So it's like his signature dunk in college. He starts doing it early in the NBA, and that's just, to me, that's even cooler to some extent than the Air Jordan dunk, because he can do that shit in a game. Like, you can't do the Air Jordan dunk in a game. Like, you have to have, like, you know, nobody around you, that kind of thing. But he's like throwing this shit down mid-game, like, on breakaways, and that's just fucking awesome.
Well, you have to know that was before that was a thing.
Right.
He was the first fly. Like, obviously nowadays we see all these guys that are flying and doing crazy dunks, whatever. He made you believe you could fly is not just like a hype statement.
Right.
It's real.
Yeah, and I mean, there was an interview or something about after he hit the Air Jordan dunk, is like, you really can fly, can't you? And he just smiles. You know what I mean? I love cradles the ball and just slams it. I love that. The next moment I want to talk about, 63 points in a double overtime game against a team that started 5 Hall of Famers in the Boston Celtics in the famed Boston Gardens. Nobody won there. When the Bruins were winning their championships, the Celtics were winning their championships. Like, that place was sports hell for any visiting team. And he walks in there and puts 63 points on the board. And
As a rookie.
And he does at the end of the
That's
first.
one of his most iconic moments.
Oh yeah.
The double shuffle. Sorry to cut you off, Josh, but when he does between the legs, forward and backwards, it doesn't look like he's doing something I can do.
Right.
Like, the way his body's moving looks like the first time you see Michael Jackson do a moonwalk. You're like, wait, how the hell?
Like, run that back one more time. Like,
I think it's on a loop.
No, I meant like that's how you look at it.
I'm kidding with you. But no, 100%. It was the whole like, wait, how did he do that? But that Celtics team, it is a shame it's not considered the greatest ever. Like, it's in the conversation, but like, it's always the winning Bulls versus the winning Warriors. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Celtics team was basketball before Jordan.
Right.
He fucking came in there and.
How pissed do you think Larry Bird was after that game?
Oh, I'm sure he was furious, and like Jordan gets two guys to foul out, right? And when they weren't calling fouls, period. He gets 2 guys to foul out. He takes them to 2 overtimes. He hits 2 free throws to send it to the second overtime.
Yep.
Like, it's just when. In the first episode, when they talked about this, like, I remember texting you guys, like, excuse me? How the fuck is that even, like, a thing that a human can do?
For real.
It's awesome. The next moment, obviously, is the Air Jordan back-to-back dunk competitions. This is just, it's poetry in motion, and there's no other way to describe that.
This is also a very big part of my GOAT argument for Jordan. The 3-point, the dunk, all of those used to mean the world.
Right.
Tim Legler told a story this morning about how there's a picture of them standing next to each other, and a lot of people think they're talking shit because Legler played in Europe, played in CBA, came over here, and then won the 3-point competition. So everyone assumed Jordan was talking shit. Jordan actually went up, congratulated him, and asked him how his daughter was born, who they had to induce the labor so Legs could be in the 3-point competition because he wanted to prove that he deserved to be in the NBA and was the best shooter in the world. And instead of talking shit, Jordan went up and talked about how the daughter is, saying you can't wait to get back, all this stuff. Like, those things used to mean almost as much as an MVP back then. Because it's, I'm better than you. And nowadays, I mean, the dunk contest has come back a little bit, but All-Star Weekend's a complete joke.
Right.
And that's frustrating for me. When you have, like, LeBron in a dunk contest, like, why not? Why is that not? You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Well, and to do this twice, too.
Yep.
Like, just further prove that he could do it. Like, that this was not, like, a once-in-a-lifetime thing, that this was something that's in his bag at all times.
Yep.
I want to talk about this moment because I didn't realize this happened twice. He must really hate the Cleveland Cavaliers. So here he is beating the Cavs in a final buzzer shot with the Bulls, the first playoff win, I think. And, like, that, I mean, obviously is just fucking awesome. And then the jump and the fist bump. But then he does it again with the Wizards. Like, why does he hate the Cavaliers so much?
Because they're in the East and they're in his way.
It's incredible. I didn't realize that he did that. I mean, almost the same exact spot too, on the floor. That's rude. That's just rude. I love that.
Goat shit.
Yeah. The next one is obviously the Patrick Ewing dunk. There is no. Like, Patrick Ewing's one of the greatest players of all time. He's a Hall of Famer, yada, yada, yada. That is one man alphaing another man. Like, that's just, like, that face at the end of the loop says it all.
I And I don't know, Boyd, because I know, Josh, you knew obviously who Jordan was, but it wasn't as like he wasn't as prolific to you, I think, growing up until you saw this dot and you kind of realized.
Right.
I was very surprised they didn't do more with him and Mutombo because Jordan had a list of guys he wanted to dunk on. And Mutombo was on the list, and they were talking shit in the locker room, and he got it on Mutombo. And, like, I think they glanced by it. I was like, yo, like, that was going to showcase how crazy Jordan was. He had a list of guys in the league he hadn't dunked on yet, and Mutombo was the biggest name. And Mutombo was like, you're not getting that. Like, get out of here. And Jordan's like, I'm coming for you, big man, and got it. Oh, man. This Ewing dunk is,
Well, and there's so much, too, because, Georgetown versus UNC is like, basketball supremacy type shit. And, Ewing was such a big deal before he got in the league, or before Jordan got in the league.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just really, or no, vice versa, right? Jordan was first. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Ewing was 86.
Yeah.
I don't know. We did that show on it. Look, you should know this, Josh.
80. Okay,
Yeah,
so Jordan's 84, and I think you're right
Yeah.
that Ewing's 86. So, the next thing I want to talk about is my favorite moment from all of the documentary. It's the shrug. He puts in 5 3-pointers in the first quarter, which is just unheard of. And the whole reason he did it is obviously that they were comparing him to Clyde Drexler. But my favorite part is that the entire time he's talking shit to the commentators calling the game. He went over to them before the game and he said, I'm going to put up more points. I'm going to make him look irrelevant. And after that 5th one, he looks dead at him and shrugs.
Well,
mid-game.
it was, I mean, not
he
just
said he was
the
going to
commentators, Magic.
Yeah.
Magic
that's
Johnson was
right.
calling that game. So not only was it, you're right, it was the commentators, but not only was it the commentators, he went up to Magic Johnson and said, I'm going to bury this kid.
He said, I'm going to put up what he put up in the first half.
That was it.
Right.
That was it. I'm going to put up what he put up the whole game in the first half, and the shrug was just, it's what I do, baby.
And he had 37 the game before, and he put up 36 that half.
He was probably pissed he didn't get it. I promise you he was pissed he didn't get 37.
Definitely. Probably 1 in 38.
That's my favorite thing.
Yep.
I love that.
Well, and it's iconically placed throughout. So the security guard, Dennis Rodman doing it at the end.
Right.
Oh,
It's awesome. Yeah, the shrug. And then obviously the last thing is Jordan just taking control with the last 20 minutes of a game, or 30 minutes, or 30 seconds of a game where
2 minutes.
he pretty much did the last 30 minutes on his own because Scotty was beat up. But man, I just refuse to lose. It's beautiful, and I love how he talks about setting up I forget the guy's name. Who's the guy defending him?
the
Russell.
kid. Yeah, Russell.
How he talked about how Russell played on his toes, and he knew exactly how he was going to beat him if he needed to beat him in a game-winning
It annoys
situation.
me when people say there was a push, because if you watch his hand,
On that back angle, that second angle.
Was it Bob Costas? He was like the
maitre d'.
Yeah, he's like, you could compare that to a maitre d' showing you to a table, and I was like, wow. I was like, yes.
That was the okay. I love Bob Costas. I think he's amazing. That is why Bob Costas is the GOAT, because he says you can compare it to a maitre d' showing someone to their table. I was like, damn.
You're like, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was. Oh, he's
like-
gone. Like, come on, son.
I was like, all right, fall over so I can get this game winner.
He showed him right out the door in the finals. I think the second angle is coming up here because it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like a push from that angle, but then here comes the next one.
He just overcommitted that.
Yeah.
He
He just-
committed
he just
so
falls off.
hard, man.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, if you watch Jordan's shoulders, they don't move.
Yeah, like
Because
there's
he's coming back with the right, so that left hand can't even have that much power behind it at all. And if you see the angle, like, okay, the back, I'm seconds
Yeah.
behind.
that
It's
back-
like on the butt, but at the same time,
Bro.
that guy was so geeked to just be guarding Jordan. He overcommitted.
stupid.
And I loved after that, like Karl Malone and John Stockton they had to sit and wait for Jordan to be done with press conferences. Like they sat on the table like kids waiting to be called because Dad was done. I mean, that's how fucking good he was. It's incredible. But
Goat. GOAT goat. Whoa.
Never.
and that's why he won our GOAT bracket, right?
I mean, if nothing more than the fact that they made a 10-part documentary about him, basically. Sorry, babe.
There was
Whatever her name is.
Babe to Dickerson's at least a good 3 though, a 3-parter.
Someone in the Last Dance documentary, I don't remember who it was. I think it was like early on, like episode 4 or something. Was like there's few people.
Oh, him and Tiger. It was Charles Barkley.
Was it Barkley that said
Yeah.
it? He was like He's like Michael and Tiger. I was like, damn, Tiger was in there. We let him.
Phil Jackson beat Tiger.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That win?
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
Because I kind of regret the convincing, but I made Josh go with Phil because of the coaching titles paired with the playing titles.
Right. But you know what? Like, as a coach, in your star center, the biggest piece of your defense is just like on national television wrestling the night before Game 4, and he just he handled it. He handled it.
That's why he's the greatest. There's a commercial after he had his 5 with Kobe, his 6 with Jordan. There was a commercial a few years back where it was like on a lot in Hollywood or something, and the coffee person was like, I deal with a lot of personalities. And Phil goes, that must be hard. And it was just like, I mean, he dealt with Shaq, Kobe, Dennis, Pippen, MJ, like Kucic before he even came over, Kuchuk or whatever, everyone. I mean, he even had Karl Malone and Gary Payton on the Lakers. Like,
oh, man.
Everyone. Phil Jackson is one of the greatest humans ever.
And like them talking about like the burning of like how they felt about everybody.
Oh.
When you we were talking about when you kill for Dennis Rodman's tapes in Vegas, I would kill to have read those letters.
Couldn't. You ever see a puppy die? That's what I feel like it would be like.
Yeah.
I've never seen a puppy die, thank God. But, like, that's the peak. Steve Kerr won another title, and I guarantee that was the peak of his life. He won titles with the Warriors. MJ, everyone, man.
Yeah, and it's just, I was so into that series, and it really, like, I started having like weird memories, and I don't know whether or not like my brain's just creating them or if they were real. Of like
me and Jordan were just hanging out.
No, but like McDonald's commercials with Jordan, me thinking like, oh yeah, that's cool. Or like I remember my grandfather was a Bulls fan, and him like talking about how good Michael Jordan was, like, and all these weird like little memories coming back to me.
I remember really in basketball camp, I had an 8 Kobe jersey, and I wore it, and the one guy was like trying to make fun of me because it was around the allegation time, and I said, all right, and I told my dad, I said, I want a Jordan jersey, and he goes, I kind of like Larry Bird, and I tell you right now, Chipper and Larry Bird, growing up, spitting image. Chip, identical. I'll find pictures. Version, identical, more athletic version. I'll find pictures.
Did I tell you guys about the time that I beat Larry Bird 1-on-1 in '99? Yeah, that happened.
Was this on Monstar Planet where they have to lose because they're chained to a rock?
Real life, beat him.
Go ahead.
Broke his ankles. Happened. No, I'm making it up.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You like Paul McCartney waved at you, so I don't know, man. Like,
yeah, Make-A-Wish let me beat Larry Bird.
He said, I want to beat Jordan for my Make-A-Wish. They said, we can't do that.
No.
Pick someone else.
No.
He said, Bird?
I mean, that was, what'd you send today, Boyd? Oh, shit, hang on. I have to pull this up because this was so funny.
Me?
Or no, maybe I just...
The wrestling thing?
I found it somewhere else. Okay, so it's a picture of Michael Jordan at, in the Last Dance, like, interview. And he goes, I stormed into practice and I said, get this piece of shit off my team. And then it cuts to Phil. And Phil goes, I said, Michael, this is just a movie. And that's Daffy Duck.
That was good.
That was
That
awesome.
was good.
And if you were bummed that we didn't talk about Space Jam today, make sure you check out Thoughts from the Movies, where we break down Space Jam from start to finish. Justin Boyd joins me. We get a bunch of other people involved, and it's a good time.
Josh accuses MJ of taking steroids again.
Again.
Michael thick with stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
Idiot.
He put it in there because he felt guilty.
He didn't make it. Bugs Bunny did.
It's not necessarily true.
100%.
What was that water ball doing in his bag then? Just saying.
That's how they stay hydrated during games.
What do you carry water in your hands?
I don't know, man.
Psychopath?
Do you put water in plastic bags and duct tape it to your stomach and then
With a straw.
Yeah, it's weird.
With the beer helmet.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo, man.
All right. Okay.
You done?
Okay.
I've had it up.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Boyd's getting tired.
Okay.
Who is? I'm about to go get these dubs on Warzone, baby.
Proud of you.
Got one before I got on. About to get one when I get off.
No, get it, kid.
Proud of you.
Derek's not coming to play.
No, I got pro clubs tonight.
Pro clubs tonight.
FIFA boy.
FIFA boy. He's a FIFA boy.
All right. Thanks for watching Idiot Hour.
Thank
8
you,
hour and
guys.
21 minutes.
Say goodnight, Derek.
Good
Good night, Derek.
Idiot hour and 21.